Play that song.
Straight white boys text.
What, Schindler's List?
Ben Shapiro's really short.
Oh.
You're so freaking cute. It's because it's a fake profile. Reality's disappointing. That being said, want to see a dick pic?
What the fuck?
There was a convention that Ben Shapiro was speaking in, and there was a poster with all the headshots of the people speaking, and someone edited it so his head was like... and they actually used that one for the...
What?
convention.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Anywho, welcome to the Weekend Fan Club.
Oh my god, did you hit record?
Yeah.
What?
You just played your own game, dude.
Oh shit! I'm so happy.
That's Jenga, baby.
I'm so proud of you.
I wish I didn't lead off with the Ben Shapiro poster prank, but here we are.
Oh, I'm so proud of
That's
you.
life.
I can't believe you did it.
I'm Quinn.
Really?
I feel like we should introduce ourselves consistently. You never know which
That's true.
episode's
We
gonna
never
be
know when someone's
first.
gonna hop in.
And you never forget your first.
No, you never do.
Especially when it comes to episodes of the Weekend Fan Club.
Mm-hmm. The most consistent podcast we know.
I like to think we give every episode its own flavor.
Why'd you have to call it a flavor? It's just...
What do you mean?
it
That's a
tastes
normal.
nice.
That's a normal word.
Is it?
Yes.
Anyways, I'm Connor.
I'm John.
I did mine, so let's.
So, we have a big day to talk about.
Do we?
Oh, yeah.
I thought we had two things.
We have a... Don't tell them that. They don't need to know that.
I'm not even sure. You're taking me on this ride today.
Yeah, we've made longer episodes out of less than that.
We
by the
really
way,
have.
so-
Honestly, we're great. We're good. So today when I was at work, I fucked up my finger.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Like,
For those at home.
for those at home,
We're looking
there
at
is
his
a
finger.
hole in my nail.
Oh, look at that.
Like, dug in.
Yeah, yeah.
Gross.
I want you to take, and there's like cuts all over my finger. I want you to take a wild guess from you guys. Well, what did this?
The bottom part of your finger looks very cat-like.
Not
Or
a cat.
like
Wasn't an animal. It happened to work.
Or like
And I work in a warehouse.
something falling on your hand that's long, straight.
Um,
But the fingernail, I've got nothing.
So, do you give up?
I guess.
Okay. A chair mat.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I know.
I'm guessing it was not the soft part.
It was the spikes on the bottom.
Yeah.
Ah,
I was trying to roll up a chair mat, and to be fair, spikes on chair mats are not supposed to be this fucking sharp.
no.
And I hate these specific ones because I've been complaining about them for years.
So you were trying to roll it up with the back of your hand?
No, I'm rolling up, like, just... Okay,
Oh,
so,
okay, so
I'm
then-
rolling it up, and I'm trying to,
so
like,
when you
keep my
roll
hands
it-
away from it, and it's so big and awkward, as I'm rolling it, it flicked out,
Ah,
like, hard,
gave you the old
and
one
cut all of my fingers and, like, stuck into my nail, and I was like, and I kind of pulled my hand away, because it hurt, and it doesn't look bad now, but the whole thing was just covered in blood.
Whoa.
Like, it was bad. Like, this cut right here was,
Cool.
like, just leaking, and
Did
I was
you
like,
get to go home?
no!
What?
I was like, Jesus! And then everyone was like, draw your fucking pussy. And I'm like, yeah, I am, but that's not the point. And I walk out looking like I fucking killed someone. So, and the worst part is like, I didn't want to put Band-Aids on it because... Try doing things with your hands with Band-Aids all over one finger, especially your middle finger. It's hard as shit to do, and it's uncomfortable. So I was just like, fuck it. I just took a bunch of gauze and just wrapped it. Because I was like, at least then...
that's more convenient.
It is a little bit, because at least then you don't have to worry about, like, hitting it off anything. At least it's cushioned. You know what I mean? So I wrapped it up and then just, like, put a bobby pin in it, and everyone who came back was just like, Jesus Christ, what happened? I'm like, it's not as bad as it looks now. I made it look like I lost a finger. But, like...
Do you have like a mitt for the day, basically? Like no fingers?
I pretty much had, like, no finger.
Oh, it was just the one
only
finger.
no, it was only over,
hand.
like, the one finger.
I got you.
So as I was, like, picking things up, I was doing this
Yeah.
with,
Oh,
like,
that
my
was-
ring finger and my thumb, which is...
That don't look fun.
Could you write? Did you have to write it all?
Oh, yeah, I had to write, like,
that's
Oh,
wacky.
gross.
bills like this. It was gross, and it looked like it was written by a 5-year-old. And it also doesn't help that my writing isn't that great to start with.
My writing has gotten worse over the years.
Yeah?
Like,
yeah.
every time I go, like, an expanse of time without writing anything, and then I sit down and I write something, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, the worst thing is that when I was a
let you
kid...
graduate primary school. Oh,
yeah.
God.
When I was a kid, I remember they started teaching cursive in, like, grade 2.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, we're learning cursive. And one of the fucking students, I still remember her name. I'm not going to call her out. Melissa.
Wow.
Anyway. She fucking said in the class, she's like,
Big
why
ol'
don't we just...
censor bleep going on that.
Why don't we just write cursive for the rest of the year? And that'll teach us to do it well. And I hated that. But I also liked it because now I use cursive all the time. But it also sucks that I have bad handwriting. So when I stopped printing was in 2nd grade. So when I have to print something, it's actually like someone from the 2nd fucking grade. Because I never had to use it after that.
Yeah.
Because I just used cursive for the rest of
It's
it.
interesting because I feel like the opposite, where I got to like later grades and they're like, you know, when you get to junior high school, you're gonna have to write cursive for everything, or they won't grade it. And I was just like, bullshit. Like honestly,
Shit.
Yeah.
come on, writing's writing, dude.
Yeah.
And it was right. I was right. It was true. I learned cursive only for my signature.
Yeah. I learned cursive and it wasn't too bad, but like I was also one of those people who was like, I would go up to my teacher, my English teacher for the year, and be like, listen, I'm gonna type up a lot of stuff for you. And she's like, that's not good enough. I'm like, no, but you don't understand. My writing is garbage. You need this.
I mean, what's wrong with that? I type all day anyways.
Yeah.
Like
I
whenever...
feel like my default writing now is like a gross mixture of printing and cursive.
And like I don't write much anyway nowadays, and the only time I do is like a little bit of printing just to like write a bill or something. And even then I look at it
Just
and I'm
like notes.
oh Lord.
Not really about writing sentences anymore.
How do adults have good writing generally?
Jesus Christ. It's another cut. I found another one on my thumb.
Nice.
Well, it's not.
Every fucking time I look at my hand, there's another cut.
Alright, well, we know what expression you can't use anymore.
What?
I know so-and-so like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't know the back of your hand.
Well, it was my
anymore.
thumb. It was literally like the palm of my thumb. Is that what it is?
I don't
pad?
think so, dude.
There we go.
Pad of your
Let's
thumb.
go with the pad. The pad of my thumb. Makes me sound like I'm a dog.
I guess so. But
What was I saying, dude?
how do adults have good writing?
How
Yeah.
do they have... I mean, like, technically we're adults now. We're gonna...
I'm really happy you remember what you were talking about, because it would be very embarrassing on the podcast. What was I talking about? Oh, God, what was... But you're right. What the fuck? How did I have good
how did
writing?
they get good writing? I don't know.
Well, they had less computers, I think, growing up.
Well,
Or
I
was it
mean,
just
they had
because
to
they
write.
would, like, smack their hands until they got good at it.
Why was the first thing I was thinking of too? She's like, oh, I'm not writing bad, and then like Sister Teresa.
So what,
Because
your writing's
growing
not
up, that's
bad.
all adults say about school. Is,
So,
oh yeah, they used to
whoa,
have
whoa,
us.
but, like,
That's great, honestly.
I mean, the
bring
logic-
that back.
But the logic doesn't follow there. You're writing bad, so they hit you with your writing hand.
oh, 100%. Abuse
Wouldn't
is
that
illogical, dude.
Wouldn't that make you write worse?
Whatever.
Your hand's like bleeding and shaking. You're like, you're writing worse, and it's like, do you want?
I told you I had to use a black pen, not red. That's my blood, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ah, that actually hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I just hit my own hand. I mean, no, it didn't. Cut that out.
That was your one good hand.
I know.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Now you have no good hands.
I actually had to like write off like a fucking injury report at work.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Ooh.
Cause like I wrote
Which
it
is
up-
unfortunate, because that requires you to use your injured.
Well, no, it was typed up, and I didn't have to write it. I like went in, and one of the managers was just like, and we were kind of having a laugh about it. And she was looking at me. She's like, she like had it up on the computer. She looks at me. She goes, "So, how do you feel about the injury?" And I was like, "Honestly, I'm traumatized. I'll never be able to look at a chair mat the same way again." And it's true. I won't.
No, I would be very afraid of them. For
Even
at
like,
least a
and
while.
you know what the funny thing is? I didn't wrap up those chair mats after. I was rolling them up. Didn't even roll them up. So
do
whoever
the
got
thing.
those chair mats, fuck them.
I'd wear oven mitts.
I'm wearing gloves now from now on if I ever have to roll up a chair mat.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is realistically I probably should have been doing in the first place. But say la vie. You live, you learn.
Man, none of the injuries in my computer job are cool. Like they're all like repetitive strain and stuff.
The only thing I'm really worried about is that like
tunnel or something.
Yeah.
the only thing I'm really worried about is that like if I leave my nail alone, I hope it'll just grow over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, won't that hole just get pushed off? As
Yeah.
it
I'm
goes out?
thinking it will.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
obviously.
it will.
Like
Anyway.
the spots, the little.
Yeah, the pits.
Those are weird. I don't know what those are.
It's like an actual thing. I've never really had them.
Yeah,
but
someone said it was like you had a nutrient or something.
yeah, it's like
little
a nutrient deficiency. Because I looked it up afterward and I was like, do I need to just haul this off? Is this gonna get worse? You know what I mean? Like a lot. Like some people they stub their toe a lot and they haul the whole nail off because they're like, fuck it.
What?
That
Yeah.
That sucks.
I
Though.
find
would
that
never
deeply
wanna...
upsetting.
Yeah, same.
I hate just the thought of it.
Anyway, speaking of upsetting and hating the thought of it, you said there was some American government news. Is that what
No
we're talking
collusion.
about?
No. Goddamn.
No collusion.
We don't. Well,
Officially, probably.
officially,
Hey, look,
probably.
we're the leading source in Newfoundland for American government news, and you can quote me on that. If we don't talk about it, who will?
So funny. I have a friend who lives in the States, and I always ask her about all this shit that happens sometimes. And I'm always just like, so, how's that government shutdown going? And she just sent me like a picture of everything on fire, and I'm like, oh, all right. And it's always fun to well, not fun, but it's always interesting to look at what things are like in the States on the news.
Yeah.
And how things are being reported there. But it's even better to just talk with someone who's actually there.
Yeah.
Just completely.
I remember when I lived in Ottawa for a while in 2016, I'd do stuff like that.
Ooh.
They'd be like, what's it like back where you're from? I'm like, well, the premier has a 10% approval rating, and they're putting a tax on books.
That happened to me when I was in Toronto I think that was in 2016 as well. It was when we went to go see Metallica, and I was talking to some guy at the hotel, and he was from the States, and we were talking to him, and he's like, so what about you guys? He's like, what any crazy political things happening where you guys are from in Newfoundland? And I was like, well, we spent billions of dollars on a thing that's probably not working.
Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Man.
But the funny thing was, that was a weird dude, honestly. I probably talked about it on the podcast, forever ago, but, his wife is from Thailand.
Okay.
His children are, with the children he had with his wife.
Right.
Still live with him.
Okay.
He's from, oh, God, somewhere, some state, I think it's Chicago he's from. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I voted Trump. And I'm like, why? Wasn't his whole thing to get rid of your wife and children? Literally, you'd think that'd be the one thing. And I remember it clearly because the way he worded it to me, he was kind of leaning in. He was like, I don't know if you know this, man. He's like, but America's in a rough spot right now. And I was like, no fucking way, really? No way. And then he was just went on.
Somehow I feel like we agree, but not for the same reason.
No, I agree, but I'm not. And I don't know, it was just a weird conversation to have with someone like that. But it was definitely eye-opening. And just being able to just get rid of all any sort of agenda from a media or anything like that and just talk with someone. Mm-hmm. Straight up. Yeah. Which is interesting.
Because that's the unfortunate truth is that there are a lot, maybe not most, but a lot of people are like that. Yeah, and one of my and like I said, my friend in the States, she loves True Daddy, quote unquote. Uh-huh. And I every time something happens, I'm just like, well, this whole SNC Lavalin thing's going on, and I was like, you're probably not going to see another term. Let's be real. And she's like, but why? And I'm like, I don't have the time. I just send her a link. I'm like, I don't have the time. He gets it so fucking easy for that. The Time published an article on the SNC Lavalin thing, and all the comments were people like, really? Is that it? Come on. Yeah, you got it? Okay, I'll take that. I'd take that any day. It's really? Did you hear about the other thing that happened? What was the other? Where he was in the house, and someone tried to call him out for eating a bagel. Yep. In the house, which, to be fair, no food allowed. And he came up and he was just like, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, you are right, I was eating, but it was not a bagel, it was a chocolate bar. And I was like, what are you going to do? Honestly, it's fuck it. I don't know, yeah.
Like, he gets so much shit.
Mhm.
And it's like...
So, but, like, he is our best bet right now, right? Like, I mean, the other guy's nuts. And there's only ever really 2 people involved.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking about in terms of Canadian leader. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Andrew
Yeah.
Scheer's gonna be prime minister, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That blows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and I don't know anything, so all I have is this impending, like, weird imminence and doom feeling.
Yeah, because it's like one of the last, global leading countries to fall to a crazy fascist.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, because around that point, when that happens, that'll be around the time where most people have probably given up on America and have come here. And then that's going to happen, and they're going to be like, fuck! Shit!
Is there any chance
Go further
that
north.
won't happen?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. We're a
'Cause
while out. It's October, the election's out in October, so it's like 6 months to turn it around.
Canadian
Fuck it.
elections are cool like that.
Yeah, because Canadian
American
elections are literally
elections.
like, hey, it's going to happen this year.
Yeah,
And American elections are like, yo...
someone gets elected, and then they get 2 years of kind of like, not peace and quiet, but peace and quiet, and then
No, dude, they're
and then
fucking
then halfway through their term,
there's already more racket about the American election, and it's more than a year later than the Canadian one.
Like,
Yeah.
there's people fucking out campaigning now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Beto's up crouching on bars.
Did you fucking hear about some... I don't know if it was Beto. It was someone else. Someone had, like, a town hall at CNN, and I listened to, like, a little bit of it. And sweet Jesus. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but holy fuck, this man has led an interesting life. And I honestly want him to be a president. Like, he talked about one time he went to see the movie Snatch with his mom. And I was like, what the fuck? And, like, to be fair, Snatch is a very graphic film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, extremely.
what are we talking about right now?
It's a guy... Okay, so some guy... I can't remember his name.
Is it Beto O'Rourke?
No, it's not Beto. I would have remembered that, because then I don't think anyone would have let him live it down, honestly.
True.
But he had
it
a,
wasn't Bernie. I don't
No.
remember if it was Bernie.
Oh, an 80-year-old man taking his mother to see Snatch? That would have been ingrained into my fucking soul. But no, it wasn't him. It was someone else. I can't remember. But he basically took his mom to a movie because she had never gone out to see movies all the time. And they had no idea what the movie was about.
Hilarious.
Which I was like, damn. Alright, cool.
Okay.
And that's it. Like, and I was like, why did you even tell this story? Like, you're in a town hall for presidency. Why the fuck did you tell your story about you seeing a dirty movie with your mom?
It's interesting seeing that in 2015 there was the Republican primary where you saw all these ghouls come out from the woodwork to run, right? And they had that like fucked up gladiator style debate with 100 people.
That was fucked
But now
up.
there's the Democrat version of it. There's this guy I heard of called Andrew Yang. I think that's his name. I know 2 things about his campaign. One is that he wants the universal basic income for people.
Yeah.
He's a
2
tech
is that
guy.
he's Asian.
Oh, 2 for me was that he wants to... He has a strong stance either for or against circumcision. I can't remember which one it was.
I remember that. Because
What the fuck?
No, because the Daily Show did a bit on him where like one of their correspondents went and like saw him and like I can't remember the guy's name. The correspondent who usually does it, but every single one of his bits that he does is literally just about like, I'm gonna vote for you on nothing else but this color of your skin because they're both Asian. And he's just like, well, thank you, but I mean, I'd hope you'd also like my policies too.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring up the circumcision thing, and I was like, how? That's comedy gold. Please.
Also, a huge national thing, Where do the other candidates stand on this?
Yeah. Where do they stand on it? I gotta know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not voting, but I gotta know.
I gotta know.
I'm so confused by politics
Yeah.
in ways that I didn't think I would be.
And like, I'm one of those people who like, I've been following politics for a very long time, but I keep forgetting I have been. Like, I've been following it since I was younger.
Consider myself still following politics. I don't pursue any knowledge on politics on my own time.
Yeah.
I just like to hear people talk about it.
Like, I've been following politics, like, when I was younger, and then I just stopped, because I just stopped caring, and then, like, I went back into it, and I was like, son of a bitch.
No, for me, it was like a lot of people. It was 2015 when it was like you could feel.
Oh yeah.
Really, it was 2014 with the whole Gamergate thing, which is unrelated but similar in that there's just this big movement of nastiness.
Yeah, and I remember
And then 2015.
I feel
When
like
I
so
turned,
much
like-
of this wouldn't have happened if the internet didn't exist.
yeah when I turned
100%.
like 19, I remember the first thing being like, "Oh, you can buy liquor now." No, I can. I can vote now.
That was your thing you were excited. I think you'd be 18. You could vote when you're 18.
Yeah, or sorry, 18. My bad. Yeah, I was like, man, when I turned 18, I was like, dude, I can vote now. Sick.
Yeah, I remember. I remember, maybe not when I turned 18, but when the next election came around, I was just like, yo. I'm exercising my rights and shit.
Yeah, man.
I didn't really feel anything from voting. I did vote, and I don't know.
I mean, hey.
I didn't feel
You
like
didn't
I
feel
was
empowered?
using my rights or anything. I was just like, who gives a shit? Here's a vote.
Here's a vote.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons that feel like you don't give a shit with the whole Acadian system. That new tangent. Woo woo.
Ooh.
That was supposed to change with this prime minister, but he didn't, and whoops, another nail in the coffin.
Oh no, not a good tangent, it sounds like.
That's about it. That's as far as I'll go, at least.
Yeah. I saw the movie Casablanca the other day, and it was really good. Look at that.
Cool transition, man.
Fucking sick
Oh, yeah.
transition.
That was a brick wall of a transition. What were your thoughts after?
Really good. It's
Yeah,
it's
holds up?
Really good thoughts.
really good. It was a really good movie, and it definitely holds up. And there's a thing I always have a problem with when I see old film, like black and white like that. I always have a hard time, like, keeping my attention to the screen. Because let's be real, not a lot of things were happening. You had to be... A lot of movies these days are more engaging.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
you don't have to try very hard to, like, keep yourself engaged to the film. But in those days, I mean, it was just a miracle to see things moving on a screen. So, I mean, that alone was a spectacle. So, I was watching it, and I'm like, I had no problem being completely absorbed. Like, from the fucking minute one, they tell you where Casablanca is, why it's important, the setting, everything. They're like, Casablanca's this place. It's a town. It's got a little airport. You get on a plane and you go to this other place, and there you get on a plane or a boat to fly to America or sail to America to get away from World War II in Europe and Africa and all those places. And everyone always gets to Casablanca, and Casablanca is the last place they usually get to because getting a visa to get out is hard as shit. So so that whole thing is like, when you get in Casablanca, most people don't leave. They stay there.
Yeah.
They live there, they die there. And it's not like a shithole. Like, the main character, Rick Blaine, he owns a bar there. And that's where the whole movie pretty much takes place, is in his bar.
Interesting.
And they set all that up in, like, the first, like, 3 minutes. And they're like, here you go. And I'm like, damn, all right.
Cool.
And, like, you see him walk around, and he's, like, talking with all the people in the bar, get you acquainted to all the characters, and you're like, nice. And, man, no, it's just a really good film. And, like, I was completely engaged the whole way through, and even towards the end, I was just like, damn, I really want this to happen. And it still blindsided me, because the ending of that movie is literally fucking parodied all the damn time, and it still blindsided me that it happened. And I knew a movie I was looking at. I was like, son of a bitch. How
No
come I didn't see
spoilers
this?
on a 100-year-old movie or whenever it was made.
1948? 38?
Yeah,
Something like
100
that?
years.
48, I
Might as
think?
fucking well be. Like,
How does it compare to the last really old movie we all watched, Psycho? If there's any comparison to have.
Psycho is definitely... Psycho looked like it was a movie that someone wanted to make today, and they went back in time and made it then.
I don't
Okay.
understand what you just said.
Like, imagine if someone today was like, I want to make this movie, and they just went back in time, and they were like, I'm going to make it now. Like, it's complete, it's like sticks and stone. Fucking Alfred Hitchcock was just one of those fucking people who could make a movie and be like, damn.
Okay,
Holy
it's
shit,
like he
it's
had all
nothing.
the tools people still
Oh,
use
yeah.
today, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, like you could make Psycho anywhere, anytime. But he
Right.
made it at a time where it was you could never see that shit.
Right.
Like, it was definitely a movie that was very far removed from where it could have been. And it was just a really good one. But with Casablanca...
So you think the craft is a lot more different?
Yeah, absolutely. It's...
So, like, maybe more aged, but not in a way that makes it worse.
No, it's aged. And, like, there's times where I'm watching the movie and I'm like, that's corny. And I'm like, no, it's not, John. This is probably the first time they did this. Like,
Nice.
like, the whole, like, here's looking at you, kid. He says that, like, 4 times. And I'm like, it's not really working anymore. And I'm like, stop. This is the first time this is probably ever done like this, so I'll let it go.
Sweet.
But even seeing, like, the end of that movie, I was like, man. So, there was even, like, so many quotes from that movie, and I was like, shit.
Like, here's looking at you, kid.
Like, here's looking at you,
Like
kid, was
that.
from that one. Maybe not. If you don't get on that plane, you're gonna regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but for someday and for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And then this is the start of a long, beautiful friendship. That was the very last line of the movie, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. But still a
So
very good movie.
Casablanca, it's an island.
No, it's like
Sounds
it's
on
like
the
a
coast,
little
isn't it?
outport, like little. It's a French town apparently.
Okay.
Like
But
French
it's not
controlled.
an island.
No,
So the west
It's in
coast of
Africa.
Yeah.
Oh.
it's in
Okay.
like the north of Africa, because they say like you go to Casablanca to get your visa, and then you get on a plane
Yeah.
and you go back to America.
Okay.
It's like the last place you get to before you can leave and go to the States. To
Full disclosure, I didn't have anything to talk about, so I was gonna try to connect Casablanca, an island that you try to leave but can't, to Serenity, which is about an island he wants to leave but can't.
Does he want to leave it?
Like near the end, I feel like he does.
When he well, that's
feel like
because
he's
he
not trying to
finds out
leave it.
that the island is a.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of a. You find out you can't leave, and then you're like, "Oh, I always wanted to leave," and it's like, "No, you didn't,
no, you didn't.
you goob." What was his name? Baker Dill.
Baker.
You
Baker Dill.
Trying to catch a fish named Justice. Oh, here's something we watched just over the weekend. The Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah, how was
Gerard
it?
Way's The Umbrella Academy. I really enjoyed it, despite only
It-
watching about half of it between my hangover naps.
The amount of events and facts in that movie is mind melting.
Yeah.
I missed half an episode, and none of the characters were even in remotely the same situation that they were
Oh my god.
when I was last watching it.
And now, keep in mind the last thing I said. I was at like episode 6 or 7 out of 10, and one of the characters said, like that time I was sent to the moon, and I was like, and they kept talking about other stuff. I was like, hold up, are they just not gonna talk about how he just said he was sent to the moon? Apparently, it was just a whole thing.
Well, it's one of those things that is part of his backstory, and I gotta be honest, I didn't remember hearing him talk a lot about it until after that point
Yes.
where you said, "Hey, wait, he was on the moon?"
And then every time he was in a scene, it would come up.
And I don't
Oh
think
This is
my
just like the
God.
moon again.
I think it's one of those things that they always talk about and never show too.
Oh yeah.
Like there's never a scene of him alone on the moon, which is, I guess, kind of interesting, if only because the budget on this show is seemingly astronomical.
Mhm.
Because they really go for it and show a lot of things
It's got
that
quite a lot going on.
a lot of TV doesn't.
But even and then I was there for the the usual TV drama superpowers stuff. But then by the end, it even had some like Haunting of Hill House family drama style stuff that I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting.
I mean, I felt like I had some pretty expectable issues with it. Like how the characters very consistently just wander off and do their own thing. The climax of the whole show feels like it could have been a lot stronger.
Yeah. So what does Gerard? Who does Gerard play? Is it just a random guy?
He created it. He's not in it.
Oh, he made it.
Yeah, he made a comic that they adapted to the Netflix
Oh, I thought he was in it.
The show's basically X-Men. But
series. It's pretty
with
similar to
I
X-Men.
remember.
it's more of like an anti-hero X-Men.
Yeah, like an X-Men,
okay.
Watchmen, Haunting of Hill
And the
House.
show very much becomes very similar to a very popular X-Men story.
I remember seeing like a couple posts on Twitter about like some people saying like, did you know the guy who made this show, or who made, I thought he was in it, it's like, the guy who was in the show was in a band once, and I was like, oh God, there it goes. There goes my life. I've become old. Like, that man did not make everyone lose their shit in the Black Parade of MCR to be called that guy who made Umbrella Academy. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Alright, I forgot about. Alright.
Yeah.
That was a fact I really knew when I started the show and really forgot by the end.
Yeah, I was talking about how it's Gerard Way. I just kind of left all that.
Yeah, dude.
It's like how the guy from Vampire Weekend made Neo Yokio.
That's a much weirder one to me.
Yeah.
Because I've never listened to Vampire Weekend.
I have. It doesn't make sense that he made that show. Like, any more than...
I can't watch that show. You know, I know
Is
you guys
there
been
anybody
literally
it would
telling me
make sense
forever.
that they made the show?
Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
Right?
You guys have been telling me forever to watch that show, and I'm like, I can't, dude.
I really loved it.
Just can't.
It's really good.
But
And
it's definitely not for everyone.
They released a special thing called A Pink Christmas that I think was like an extended episode.
Oh, an OVA.
And it was like... It was maybe the best episode of that whole show.
I
Like, it
haven't
was
seen that one. Okay.
extremely
I'm
good.
going back and watching that.
The only, like, Netflix anime that I watch is,
Godzilla.
no, well, it's over now.
Castlevania.
Yes.
Castlevania.
But not the one I was thinking of. But
See,
yes.
and I knew that, which is why I said it.
Yeah.
Because it's fun when people say, there's only one thing, and then you list as
And you
many
give them
things
another one.
as you can.
And you're
It's
right, I
there's
forgot
only
about
one
that
band
one.
I like, and then you name every band on earth.
There was, God. Agretzko.
Oh, yeah.
Agretzko.
Oh, yes,
The angry,
Agretzko, yep.
yes.
the
Because I
angry
remember that was like a...
Critter anime.
That was like a little, like, 2-minute long episodes, like... Not even. It was like a minute long episodes they had, and I used to watch like the little, like just like the subtitles because I thought it was just funny. This fucking Sanrio made that.
The same one.
Sanrio,
I don't know who that is.
the fucking the people who made Hello Kitty.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what blew my mind. I was like, what the
Didn't
fuck?
that person who made Hello Kitty come back and say that Hello Kitty's a person?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a little girl. Yeah, it's not.
That
a
was
cat.
a weirdly 202019 thing to do,
Yeah.
and not 2019.
Yeah.
They were ahead of the game on that one.
Definitely.
Oh, dude, were they ever? But yeah, no, Agretzko. I really watched a lot of those. Like just like the little 1 minute ones, and then Netflix picked it up and was like, "Hey, let's make a series out of this." And I'm like, "I'm okay with this. I'm down. I love it."
So the Netflix one's not the 1 minute episodes, is it?
No. The
It's
Netflix
like-
one's like an actual like. There's a season,
Dude.
and it's actually like a plot of just her trying to deal with like, my life's boring and I don't like my job, but like. Hey, what am I gonna do? And the only way she gets rid of stress is by going to karaoke and singing death metal.
Nice. Don't we all?
Yeah, it's really good.
Big relatable on
Speaking
that one.
of anime,
Oh, speaking of Netflix anime specifically,
Oh.
I know where you're headed.
where are you
but,
headed?
we finally have a date for when I
Yeah.
go to the zone.
Yeah.
When I go to the sad zone.
Yep, June 21st, right?
June 21st. Which
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
my roommate, shoutouts to Nick, pointed out is the summer solstice.
Yep.
And up until then, their only teaser for when it would come out is spring. So, little disappointing, but it will come out and I'll watch it.
It's gonna be
We'll go in on that, hey?
it's gonna be a ride for you.
Yep.
I'm honestly excited for
Yeah.
you.
I'm excited.
I'm not watching it again. I'm not doing that to myself.
I could watch it. I
Yeah.
might not. I don't know.
It's something, all right. It's definitely something. But no, I've been watching Mob Psycho.
Oh, yeah.
Mob Psycho 100.
I think I watched like 2 minutes of the first episode.
Made by the same person who made or wrote anyway. The manga anyway was written by the same person who made One Punch Man.
Mhm.
And
One
the
Punch-
animation is exactly the same.
Cool.
Which is hilarious. Because I always loved the animation of just One Punch Man because it was just the guy knew he was a shit artist. That's why it's that bad. It's not for a stylistic choice at all.
The,
He's
like
a
the
shitty
Saitama,
artist.
just the...
Yeah, just like the dumb art.
The egghead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should see some of like the first mangas.
Yeah.
He did not dude can't even do a fucking circle. Like
I love that.
It's so good. And he kept it for Saitama and I'm like, man, great. But Mob Psycho is just about this fucking awkward kid who's an Esper and he just has like telekinetic powers. And he gets picked up by a like a fake psychic who's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a psychic. Yeah, there's an evil spirit right there. Let me just sprinkle some salt around. That'll be $300.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just a fucking complete sham.
Just a grifter.
Yeah, but like, you see him and you're like, man, fuck this guy. But you never think of him like, oh fuck this guy, because he does care about Mob, the kid's name.
Mm-hmm.
He does care about him.
Oh yeah.
But like, also, he can't let him know that he's not a real psychic because, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny. It's a good
Would
show.
you recommend?
Yeah, it's really funny. I'm almost done the second season. I completely forgot the second season was even a thing, actually.
I always think about anime to cross off the list.
Mm.
I don't watch very much anime.
I watch too much.
I'm watching more lately. You know, I'm trying to get the essentials.
I'm trying to get back into it.
What are
Honestly,
the 3
because
levels?
There was too much like. Well, there were some good ones that I watched over the winter season, and the winter season had some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched Goblin Slayer, but that was not for the faint of heart, so that's fine. JoJo. That's just what you're gonna do. And they finally finished off Persona 5's anime. They finally put out the last episode for that because I don't know why they did it. They had like a 24 episode run, and they were like, this isn't even the end of the game, what are you doing? And then they were like, here's an episode that's an hour long. And I'm like, oh, okay, is this the rest of it? No, it's not. Oh, okay. Here's another hour long episode. This is the rest of the game now. I'm like,
So you're saying the Persona 5 anime was not 100 hours long?
no.
That's completely inauthentic.
That's what I'm saying. But to be fair, they skipped a lot of side shit, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a show. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Small tangent train about fucking Persona. A little bit miffed about Atlas right now.
Why is that?
They put out a...
Do you know what that means?
Atlas made Persona.
Atlas is the
I thought
company.
that was a person in Persona.
No. Atlas made the Persona series.
Touch.
And then they had like this big thing. They were like, guys, guess what? A big teaser's coming out for like something Persona related in March. Like March 24th. And I was like, yo, I'm living for this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. And then you know what they did? They showed one character who's completely new. We have no idea who she is. It's just a girl standing there for like 3 seconds. And then it's just like, it says Persona 5, The Royal. And then they're like, more info's coming on April 24th. I'm like, why? Why would you give us a date? Show us one thing. We have no idea what it means.
They were like,
Just to give us another date.
It was big stuff coming March 24th.
Yep.
Bay 5 coming out.
Bay 5. 1 month. Motherfucker.
What was I
I'm just really mad about it. Cause like,
I can tell.
I'm a little miffed.
I'm sorry, I have nothing to contribute.
I'm also miffed about Bay, but that's fine. We'll leave that alone.
Yeah, we'll leave that one. The other one, so you're hitting the anime in seasons as like the stuff that's coming out now, the cutting edge.
Oh yeah, like I watch like anime seasons. Like
I'm
I
just
watch it
trying to
as they're
cover-
coming out.
I'm just trying to cover the classics. Cowboy Bebop's still high on my list.
I have the Blu-ray if you want to borrow it.
All right,
I have
we'll
them.
take that offline. But then the one I'm watching, this isn't quite anime.
Keijo.
But
Nice.
we talked about what I'm watching. Keijo is anime, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's a sports
it is
anime.
right? It is a sports anime. I still need to watch that too. A timeless one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Classic.
But have we talked about much? Oh no, you were there when I got it. When I picked it up. I'm about halfway through Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And
How
that's
is
been
it?
a wild experience. Let me tell you. Like it's certainly
You sent me a couple
aged.
Snapchats of like just a couple of different openings, like the dumb one.
Oh yeah, the dumb opening with Larry.
Yeah.
That was great.
Oh god.
And sometimes you get the Japanese opening. That's always a good one too.
What was the band who did that opening again?
Puffy Amiyumi.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
it
yeah.
was. And we were all blown away. We're like, shit, I completely forgot about that.
Yep.
Nice.
And what was I saying? Right, like it's still like clearly a kids show, but it's got enough there that I'm still in for it.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that it improves over the seasons. I guess since I'm watching in order instead of just like a million reruns every day as
Yeah.
a kid.
So is there like, would you say it's up there with Avatar?
I wouldn't say it's it's probably up there but below Avatar
Oh,
of
okay.
the kids shows I've watched. but really, there's not much else that competes with those two. I don't think. Like, those two are pretty up there. Avatar is just like a whole other level than all the other ones. Teen Titans is like top of the rest.
That's good. I like that.
I love it.
There's a lot of like kid shows like that where you go back and you're like, this sucked. And I'm really happy Avatar wasn't one of them. Avatar was definitely one of the ones where it was like,
Avatar had
Ages
so
like
much
wine.
to enjoy.
yeah, there's layers there, and I like that.
There's layers.
And then there's fucking Mystical Ninja starring Goemon.
Did they have a series?
They had an anime,
Nice.
and it was bad. Vic Magno did the voice for Goemon, the guy who did Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
And I think he was someone from One Piece in the English dub. Can't remember. Anyway, the funniest thing I always remember from that was the villain's name. Because even when I found out that it was an anime back in the day when like YouTube is like in its infancy and there were still episodes of things you could find on YouTube, the guy's name was Seppuku Maru.
Seppuku Maru.
Yeah. So, seppuku,
Uh-huh.
ritualistic suicide,
Uh-huh.
Maru, and like, and I have the box set of like all the episodes, like 5 discs, and like I was watching a couple episodes, and there's so many times where his evil plans will be foiled, and he immediately takes a sword, and he's about to do it, and all of his little goons are like, "Don't do it, boss! It's fine. We're gonna get him next time." And I'm
What
like,
the fuck?
"Whoa, holy shit!"
Oh my god.
They really just throw that around.
And he even says, like, and it's dubbed, so it's not like it was a translation error. He's like, I'm gonna do it this time. And he's like, it's my favorite pastime is ritualistic suicide. And I'm like,
What do you mean
whoa!
pastime?
What do you, exactly! I was like,
Pastime's
what do
something you
mean?
do often. Like,
And the fucked thing is, like, his character design, I'll have to show you a picture of him later, but, like, his character design is, like, he's wearing, like, a suit, but it's open specifically where he would do it.
like the L shape.
Yeah, it's, like, right here. And I'm
Wow.
like, oh, what the fuck?
That's whack.
Yeah. The only reason I bring that up is because I've been playing that game again. And I'm gonna 100% it.
Nice. The N64 one?
Yeah.
Have you ever done it?
No.
Really?
And I had
I find
only...
that hard to believe.
Me too.
Well, I 100%ed Goemon's Great Adventure, which is the one that's more nostalgic to me. The first one, not so much, because I could never find it. But I didn't know there was a thing for 100%ing it. But now I found out there was. It's like you can do a boss rush. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. I'm going to 100% this game. And I sat down on Sunday, and I pulled up like a guide of like where to find all the heart pieces, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I'm like halfway through it now. And I was just gonna take one of my files where I'm like already at the end of the game and go back. But I was like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna go through the whole game again. Whatever.
Sweet.
Oh god, it's so much fun. It's so nostalgic to me. That game is so goofy.
I played Hollow Knight on the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That game, it grows on you.
Yeah. It's like Symphony of the Night, but like cute.
Yeah. The art style really is just its own thing to behold. Which is a shame, because I hit a part that's really hard, and now I don't want to play it anymore.
You're gonna be like me with Sekiro, or just like hit a point and I'm like, no more, and I leave it for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and come back. I'm like, let's try this again. Except now, where I am in Sekiro, I think I might be done, honestly. Like, and the fuck thing is about those games is that if in Dark Souls, even in like some parts of Bloodborne, you're going. There's like 2 ways you can go, and you go one of the ways, and you just get so far, and you're like, I can't do this. So then you go the other way, and you get so far, and then you can't get very far enough, and you're like, fuck, okay, I guess I'll go the other way again. And then you get a little bit farther this way,
Yep.
and then you get far, and you get stuck again and go back. It's back and forth and back and forth. Now I'm at a point where I went one way, and there's a dude on a fucking horse with a fucking spear, and I'm like, I have one sword. And I'm on foot. I am fucked. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll go do this other boss. And then I went to go do the other boss, and it's this woman who floats around on strings, and you kill her, which is already hard enough. And then you have to kill her again.
That sounds like that boss in Neo that absolutely fucked me up.
Which one?
The woman who... was
Oh,
floating
yeah.
around. And
The needles?
yeah, the needles.
Yeah, the ones that paralyze you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was hard.
The paralyzing.
She's like the second boss.
Yeah,
Which is
she was
fucked.
Absolutely. It was so early, and I was just like, oh. It was one of those, like, oh, I gotta sit down.
Yeah. Oh, I have to try hard now.
That reminds me that later there was the blob boss who was... I hated more, but I wasn't even, like, in a good way. It was, like... Because he was just an absolute piece of shit the whole way through. And then I didn't find
Did you do
out...
the cheese way to do it?
I was trying for so long, and then I looked it up, that the water boss is weak to fire.
Yeah.
You
and
breathe
like all of
fire
those
on him,
things,
and he just...
Yeah, and all those like torches that you lit across the whole thing
Yeah.
activate torches in the boss room. So you can go over and like put your weapon in it and it's on fire for longer than you would the paper.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The only reason I knew that because I walked over there just out of sheer dumb fucking luck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why would I put fire on my weapon? You know what? Maybe there's a reason to this.
Yep.
That sounds really dumb.
It is
But
dumb.
outside of that, I really did love Neo. If I was to
Did
go
you
back
finish
to
it after?
I didn't finish after. It's pretty long.
It is very long.
I was pretty far
I was
into
gonna
it.
say.
If there was anyone I'd go back to, it's that one. I started a Bloodborne save again not too long ago, but I was kind of like, honestly, I don't know if I can just go through all this pain again. Like, it's just, even after finishing it before, it's
Yeah.
still like...
Next time we hang out, I'll show you Sekiro and you can see what I'm talking about when I say it's very different.
I've heard it's more hard. Like,
It
it
is.
looks extremely cool, and it's different, so maybe not, but it looks like it's just so hard.
Did
and
you
it's
ever
like,
do
I really
parries
want-
or counters in Dark Souls or in
Bloodborne?
in Bloodborne?
Yeah, I did a bit. Especially the window would vary by enemies. There were some enemies that were very easy to do, and you just all day.
Yeah. Imagine that, but every single enemy.
Yeah.
Like, and you have to.
And I've heard that Sekiro is much more of it takes it like for the amount that the other games were skill based, there was also an aspect of like if you grind, you will make it easier for yourself.
Yeah.
Or like there are strategies you can use the cheese if you're really frustrated.
And that's the thing
And
I liked
they
about
take
those.
a bunch of that away.
They did.
Where you where you actually have to do specific
have to get
techniques. You have to get good.
Yeah. There's no way around it now.
I was reading a story today about it was literally a Waypoint article about he was going through an area with lots of spear dudes, and he was rather than figure out the parry for spears, he was doing like throwing a dagger and then jumping in. Like
Yeah.
he was figuring out his alternate strategy. But then he got to this like mini boss
Who had a spear.
who had a spear, and if you didn't know how to parry him, he was going to ruin your day.
Yeah.
He was at it for like 3 hours.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. I know exactly what part he's talking about because guess what? I killed him. And I didn't fucking learn the parry. And I'm not taking that as a point of pride. I'm taking that as I fucked myself now. Because at that point, the game's like, oh, so you've mastered this now. No, I have not. I really haven't.
Exactly.
There was one boss I had to do where there's like this fucking samurai dude. And he's like, we have to go save the young master. And he's like, mind you, I'm a fucking ninja. Right? Most of this game is just me being stealthy. So he shows up and... this dude's just, like, standing there. And there's, like, a boss, the huge boss, and, like, I'd say 8 enemies around them, which is fucked. Normally you get counted off by, like, 3 dudes, you run.
Yep.
There's 8 and a boss. And you talk to the guy, and he's like, I don't care if you're, like, a dishonored shinobi. If you want to help me on the battlefield, we'll die on the battlefield. And he's just like, yo! And he runs in. And I'm like, yo, what? And then the boss shows up, and, like, the good news is, there's someone there to take the hits for you. So you can focus on other things. The bad news is, he dies very quickly.
I'd say.
So, I spent, like... And again, probably should have learned the boss instead of cheesing it. But also, I went around and I started killing and picking off some of the guys. Running away, hiding until they've all forgotten about me. They all go reset, and I kill more of the guys. Then, after I've killed most of the enemies, and the boss resets, I go back and talk to the guy, and I'm like, yo, let's go kill him now. And then the boss is focused on the small guy, and I run around him and just try and hit him with anything I can.
Yeah.
Which, again, probably should have just learned how to do it the right way, but... Which is why now I think I've really fucked myself, because now I'm up against 2 bosses, and I'm like, I'm fucked.
Guess I'll die.
Guess I'll die. It's rough, but I'm hoping I get past it.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Well, we're at a cool 50 minutes.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
God damn. We did it again, boys.
Big 5-0.
We did it again. Can we, before we finish off, I want to let everyone know that Quinn is now obsessed with Puyo Puyo.
I'm not obsessed with Puyo Puyo. I played it one time for a whole day.
For a whole day.
But we know empirically that Quinn is less obsessed with Puyo Puyo than you are with Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Since we
true.
put them both literally against each other in a duel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also did 3v1, which was...
I hope that no one puts a Tetris near me where I can start playing it, because even just playing it that evening, it's like I could get into Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
I could get into Puyo Puyo, but instead I started playing Hollow Knight, and I downloaded Rogue Legacy on the Switch.
You're a stronger man than me, because it's literally to the point now where like I go to bed and I'm like, I'm gonna watch a couple like, you know, videos before I go to bed, and it's instead there's videos playing in the background while I'm playing Tetris.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's because you can play it and do something else.
Yep.
Did I tell you I had a big Minesweeper phase? I don't know
Yeah,
if you knew that about
I
me.
remember that, and you were like really into it.
Probably the same energy.
He said you had to like stop playing because you were like, this is getting a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
And again, jealous of that energy. I wish I could give up Tetris.
It has an interesting purpose for me now. For some reason, I guess just because of I did it a couple times and it made the brain patterns, but now when I'm flying in a plane and I'm stressed, I play Minesweeper, and that's the best thing to just put me in my zone, and I forget about everything else.
Nice.
Dude, flying has only gotten scarier as I've gotten older.
Absolutely.
What's the deal with that?
Well, no, you know what it was? It was that one flight we did from Toronto. You know the one.
I do know
What?
the one.
We had a flight home from Toronto that had what the pilot calls moderate turbulence. Where it was like knock your drink over turbulence.
Oh my god.
In the middle of the night over the west coast of the island. So you look out and it's just black, and you're just like, and you're like,
I honestly fear for the next time I'll be on a plane.
That's like shit like that is the reason I like stop myself from. I'm like, oh man, I'd love to go visit like Japan, and then I think to myself, I don't have to spend like 20 hours on a plane. That's the other end of the planet.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, each time I do it, it's easier, but there's still times where I'm like asleep, and then the plane makes a single bump, and I'm just like,
no, Jesus.
I've just gotten into this thing where if I'm like, it applies almost to movies sometimes too. Like I found the past couple times I've gone to like an opening night for a movie. Because I'm me, I get tickets early, and I sit in the very middle, and then people pile in, and then the movie finally starts, and I'm like, well, here you are, Quinn. You're locked in for 2 hours. If you gotta pee, you're gonna ruin a lot of people's lives. So, you're stuck here, so I just enjoy fucking Aquaman.
Hope you got an empty bladder.
Enjoy
dickhead.
Aquaman, the wettest movie on Earth.
Oh my god. You're not wrong. Jesus Christ. That would have been brutal.
I still need to see my big wet boy on screen.
Ooh.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
It's good. It's damn good. Like it's to the point where like I might pick it up, and it might be the only DC movie I own.
It's starting to sound like a top DC movie.
Next
It
to
was a
Shazam.
hoot. Oh, I'm ready to see Shazam. I
Dude,
want to
same.
put that in my
I
eyes.
don't know
Yeah.
shit about Shazam.
I just know it looks goofy.
Yeah, I know it looks great because it's funny. Like I remember, again, one of my buddies who, let's be real, doesn't know anything about movies. He has a shit taste in film. He was like, "This movie." He's like, "This trailer fucking sucks," and I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
Get
he's
outta
like,
here, this
He's like
movie
the
fucking
he's
owns.
like the anti-Oracle, huh?
Right? I'm like, "What? This movie owns? Are you kidding me? Well, it's gonna be awesome the minute I fucking lay my eyes on it."
Some movies are popping up that I want to see, like Shazam, Us,
I do want to see
the
us.
new Tarantino movie.
Yep, that'll be alright.
Still just Godzilla for me, boys.
It's still just Detective
Oh,
Pikachu
the new
at the end of the
Godzilla
day.
does look
but
like... I've thought about it, and yeah, I'm ready to go back to that 2014 Godzilla world. Is this the one with King Kong in it, too?
No. Well, I mean, let's be real. There's probably gonna be a teaser.
Cool.
There's probably gonna be like an
I
after
want to watch
credits.
Kong Skull Island again. I keep thinking about how so fucking sick
It's on
that movie
Netflix now.
is.
Dude.
It's on Netflix now, so you can watch it.
I put that on tonight.
Do you know what else is on Netflix now? 2 parts of JoJo, which really fucked me up because I was
like the first two?
yeah, the first 2 parts. So
I did start
Phantom
JoJo
Blood
and not get into it.
yeah,
I heard
Phantom
they
Blood
also
and
recently put on like 2 Harry Potter movies, which is really
Ooh.
only a thing I'll say for Connor because John's the idiot.
Which 2?
I don't fucking know. Not that it matters to you at all.
It doesn't.
Order of the Chamber of Stones.
if you haven't seen them already and we get 1 million subscribers, we're gonna marathon watching all the Harry Potter movies.
What?
Yeah.
For the first
For
time
a
for
million
you.
subscribers.
Yeah. I'm just laying that down there, you know? Like,
I'll do it for fucking 10.
It's gonna be embarrassing if we already have 10.
Okay, 100.
I honestly don't know.
I have no idea.
100 subscribers.
I feel like we might have 6.
100
And
subscribers.
like, I know I'm one of them.
Wouldn't we?
Me too,
Wouldn't we be funny when we look back at this when we have 1 million subscribers? We're joking about the times we had 6. Won't it be great?
Yeah.
Well. But I'm just saying, if it happens and you hadn't already seen them, we're marathoning all of
I
them.
remember when I had my channel, I was like, I gotta do something fucked when I hit 50 subscribers, and I've had 47 consistently for 4 years. I was like, yes, sick.
It's YouTube was like, hold my beer.
Yeah, hold my beer. You're never gonna do anything interesting again. It's about to end this whole man's career.
Alright, so this has been the Anime Fan Club.
Hope you learned something.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I was mostly trying to look at the mic.
I have nothing to say.
John didn't learn anything.
I don't learn anything.
You didn't learn anything?
What did I learn?
I don't know.
What should I
There's
have
nothing
learned?
that.
What should I have learned?
Did anyone in this whole podcast say something that you didn't already know?
No. Why should I learn?
What do you mean? Why should you? Learn?
Why should I learn?
the
I've
basis-
learned everything I needed.
It's like the basis of all good things.
Yeah.
Good night,
learning.
everybody.
All right.
All right.